Well, I just started a dating slash clown pill channel. And now I have the unfortunate news that I'm giving up on dating. I have tapped out. I'm going my own way. It's true. It's true. So, as we all know, I've been, dating and doing the lovely, courting rituals with dozens of women over the last 9 months. And it's all ended in complete and utter disastrous failure. And after massive rejection, constant pain, it's time to just throw in the towel and give up on dating altogether because it's just hard. It's emotionally taxing. Well, we're going to go through the reasons that I'm giving up on dating temporarily and why a lot of you actually can't afford to do that. So just some backstory with me. I'm not one of those guys that's never had a girlfriend. Oh, no. I've actually been married twice. That's right. And I even had a girlfriend in between the marriages. And that one had huge bazonkas. Just wanted to put that out there. Like, obnoxiously big. But that's neither here nor there. But I've been married twice. And I had a girlfriend. I've been in long-term committed relationships ever since I was 19 years old. I'm almost 35, okay? And now I'm re-entering the dating world after all this time. Now, my first very serious relationship, who actually turned out to be my first love, my first wife, we had an outstanding relationship. She actually came on to me. I know, shocking. It blew my mind at the time, too. But she was in my ROTC program with me, and she invited herself over to my college and kept hanging out with me in my dorm. And after a while, I finally got the point. And how relationships are supposed to go. You like each other, you have great times together, and then you keep dating, and you don't ghost each other. We actually kept dating, and I fell in love. See, back then, I had the whole starry-eyed, dewy, moist belief in true love. Before that, I'd never been in a long-term relationship. I barely got any cheeks before that. I mean, I had lost my V card, but let's just say I wasn't clapping back in the day, okay? And then I met this girl, and she was actually wonderful. She was in shape. She was very attractive, at least to me. I'm trying to think, she's ugly, bro. But I thought she was very attractive. She was in the military with me. She was an officer. And the best thing of all is she didn't nag. Okay? I know a lot of men don't believe this. This sounds like it can't be true. But she, barely nagged. She left me alone. If I wanted time to myself, she would give me time to myself. She would, take me out. Entertain me. Oh, my God. She was actually, the perfect princess, the ideal woman, okay? She was even from England, and her family lived in England, and her mom was Spanish, so she had relatives in England, and I would go visit England, and she had relatives in Barcelona, Spain. So I've been to Barcelona. I think I just went once with her. Yeah, I went to Barcelona, Spain, and I went to England 4 or 5 times. It was awesome. I freaking loved it, So you had somebody that made a lot of money, worked out. She was psychotic about working out, didn't nag, and had this, just overall, very high quality wife material. And I was spoiled rotten. And I was in love. I was. Because when you're a man and, you finally get cheeks for the first time consistently, you fall in love, usually. And she was actually, as first, serious partners go, I could have done worse, okay? But over time, the relationship started to wax or wane, whatever the frickin' word is. And the reason that happened is because we had a fundamental disagreement. And it was over having children. Now, a lot of you child-free folk, or you slugs out there, you probably be like, well, you threw away a great opportunity, bro. She was like the dream girl. And in a lot of ways, she was. She really was. But she would not provide me with children. And that was a problem. That was a massive, massive problem. Because a lot of you people struggle with the purpose of life. Oh, what's the meaning of life? I don't know. Huh? It's very simple. Your purpose is to reproduce. You are an animal. That's it. Nothing else. Okay? That is your ultimate reason why you're on earth. Oh, I'm going to die and join Jesus in heaven. Yeah, I'm sure that's why you're here. Okay? No, it's to reproduce. And I wanted children anyway, And I refused to stay with somebody that wasn't going to have children with me. We kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And finally, I just said, you know what? I'm done. Okay? We basically mutually agreed to separate. And I was living in Germany at the time. So I was unemployed, because I'm long story, but basically I'd moved to Germany following her when she got stationed there, and I got out of the army. I was in Germany. I was unemployed. I had just started my accounting degree. I wasn't in that great a shape. I mean, I was running, but I was kind of flabby because I wasn't lifting. And I lost half of my money. So I basically had to start from scratch. I had no girlfriend. I lost half of my money. I had no job. I went and moved in with my parents. I was a loser, for those couple of months, basically. I really was. I had failed. But at the end of the day, it was 100% worth it. Because I wanted children, and I wasn't just going to give up, like a lot of you clowns probably. Oh, just whatever, bro. It doesn't matter. I'll just, go extinct. Whatever. I didn't want to give up. So I made huge sacrifices. And I was honestly terrified. I was. And I grew some balls. And, I worked my way back. When I first got back to the States, I moved in with my parents. And I actually had a girlfriend. I met her this is the only girl I ever dated decently long-term on a dating app. But, I knew I needed to focus my attention on dating. Because before, when I met my first love, it was just starry-eyed romanticism. I didn't really think about children and all that stuff. Because I don't know, it was this hot girl that was cool and, wanted to hang out with me. And, I really liked her and she supposedly liked me. And I wasn't thinking strategically. Once I split up with her for the purpose of having children, oh yeah, I had a much more focused idea of what I wanted, okay? I knew I wanted to have children. Well, how do you have children? Well, you gotta marry a woman, okay? Or not, I mean, you don't have to marry them, but good luck. I needed a woman, a female. I know, it's probably gonna be politically incorrect, but I needed a real female. I needed her to be a certain age range. I did not want to raise another man's kids. I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, what's yeah, freaking, there's a word for that. Okay, but we're not going to say that right now. I had very strict requirements. And if a girl didn't meet it, it didn't matter how much I liked her. And I had other requirements too, I can't say or I'll get in trouble. But I basically had a very strict list that I wanted. And I think the age too, 25 to 29 was my target demographic for age. And if they didn't meet it, I wouldn't date them. Waste of time. Okay? Next, left, unless they met all the requirements. And funny enough, I actually met a girl that was near my parents' house that was single, no kids. I think she was 24, 25. Not bad looking, huge bazonkas, but she was super. She had this super bad social anxiety, and I got bored of her after a while. I was like, I can't even tolerate this. But I actually dated her for a little bit, and then I dumped her because I moved down to where I'm at now, Hampton Roads. And once again, I was very focused. I knew exactly what I wanted, okay? The reason I was dating was to find somebody that met the requirements that I needed in order to have children that I wanted, the ideal children that I wanted. And then I met my last ex. Now, some of you are like, well, if you weren't a perfect match, because I liked her, but, we did have some fundamental differences. But she met all my requirements. And I was out of time. Okay, I was out of time. I was going on 29. I needed to pop out some kids, okay? And that was the intention. The whole love thing, find your soulmate. Yeah, you'll find your soulmate. She'll be a 60-year-old woman. And then you won't have kids, and then that's it. Okay, whatever. So I basically made a deal with the devil. I said, you know what? I tried to convince her to have kids without getting married. That didn't work. I tried. And I was like, all right, I've got to make a deal with the devil. I've already been married once. I think we can make this work. And she meets all my requirements. I guess I'll just get married again. But, of course, I got a prenup this time. I was ready because I know how this goes, okay? But we eventually got married, and guess what? I accomplished my goal. I had 2 kids. That's right, okay? Now, the whole point of getting married wasn't just to, have kids in the dumper. That wasn't the goal. But, things changed. It wasn't anything bad. It was just, we just had different views of what we wanted. And we split up again, okay? So now I'm in this new state. I'm in this new, world where my first wife, I married her and fell in love with her because, that was just starry-eyed romance beauty. The second one was primarily motivated by having children. So now I have children. And now I'm in this new state. So I already have kids. But, naturally, I'm a person that's I'm introverted, and I like my peace, and I like my quiet, okay? And I've got stuff to do. I've got YouTube channels. I've got tax returns. I've got a full-time job. I've got workouts to do. It's going to be very hard for me to fit a woman in my life. And as I was dating, these last 9 months, dozens of, I've never been more successful with women. And, that's sad to say because I'm not, a slayer, but I've been on a lot of dates with a lot of hot chicks. I've, at least gotten a couple claps out of it. And, at least made out with a lot of hot chicks, at a bare minimum, okay? So, I'm marginally successful. I'm not Chad T. But I've never been more successful, but I've never really met somebody that would realistically fit into my, the kind of life that I'm trying to live now. And the reason I say that is women take up a lot of time, okay? And, they can be fun and stuff, but when you're hanging out with a woman, you're not doing something else, okay? You're missing out on something that could be more productive. When I was dating, there was, I probably threw thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars in the trash because I was going on freaking dates with women instead of, making money on YouTube or building my brand and building my business. And I sat back and I'm like, okay, what's the point? Well, why am I doing this? And after a while, I hit a point of exhaustion where I'd been on so many dates and just so many fails and so many women that just didn't wouldn't really realistically work out. Because a lot of them, even the hot ones, it just wasn't realistic. They were just across the water. They probably want to spend freaking time together all the time. It's just too much. And I sat back and said, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. Okay, I already have kids. I don't need to prove that I can get laid. I've done that thousands of times in my life. I've got my hand. It's funny, but it's true. It's I'm throwing away so much there's so much opportunity cost dating. What am I doing? I don't understand what I'm doing. So after a while, I said, you know what? I'm deleting these stupid apps, okay? Because the only time that I really would, welcome a woman back into my life is if she basically just came over whenever I wanted her to and left as soon as I was done with her. Okay, I don't want a woman in my house. God, I've had enough of that. I can't freaking stand it. I'm sick of like, well, this will be a whole other video. But I don't want a woman living in my freaking house. I'm not sharing my house with another freaking woman. Okay, I'll have my kids over any day of the week, but there ain't no freaking woman coming in my house. Okay, I don't want to like entertain her BS. I don't want to hear her complaining. You know, I can't. I'm sick of that. I need a freaking break. And if I got back into a relationship right now, I mean, it'd be, you know, at the beginning of a relationship, you know, basically what happens is you just smash 24/7 and it's like magical. And then it wears off. That's how it always goes. I mean, that's I would be doing that. And then what? Then it's back to, oh, she maybe wants to move in. Oh, now she's starting to decorate the place. Oh, she's hang out with me, do this. And then it's like, oh my God, I can't deal with that right now. And it's a lot more, I'm at peace. Because before I was so focused on having kids, that was my goal, and I accomplished it. That was my main goal. I had kids, I succeeded. I mean, now I have to like raise them, make sure they're not degenerates. But I've accomplished like the main goal that I had been working for. And now I'm in like a new phase of my life where I can be ultra picky. I don't have to worry about time, you know, and I actually enjoy being alone. It's actually like very peaceful after all these years of turmoil. So that's kind of where I'm at now. So like the whole point of this video is, you know, if you're going your own way, as they say, I mean, I'm not saying I'm swearing off women forever, but sometimes there is a good reason that you shouldn't focus on dating. I would argue if you've never dated before, or you've never had a girlfriend, or you don't have children, yeah, it sucks, but you got to get out there and you got to date, okay? But if you're like me, I have the luxury of taking a break because I've already, like, succeeded at the fundamental purpose of life. I've already accomplished the goal. I'm basically, I could just die tomorrow. It's like, whatever. I mean, obviously, I don't want to. And obviously, you know, my kids' lives would be better if I was around. But at the end of the day, it's like, I've already succeeded, you know? What more do I need to do? You know, there's no pressure like, oh, I gotta find a woman, because that pressure comes from your instincts telling you to breed. That's what your instincts are doing. They're telling you to find a woman so you can reproduce. That's why you spend time with women. Why do you think you like women? Why do you think you are so obsessed with women? It's because it's your genes telling you to find a woman to smash, to have a kid with. That's why you are the way you are as a man, or at least a hetero man. Okay? But once you move beyond that phase of life, you know, your options are more open and there's less pressure. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I mean, obviously, I'm still going to keep doing stuff on this channel. I got tons of date stories. But I realized I was just wasting my time. Like, really. Because it was like, okay, there's so many girls that I went out with that, why? I mean, okay, you're hot. Some of them had kids. Some of them lived across the water. Some of them were just annoying and naggy. And it's like, I'm just wasting my time. Okay, there's my time, now that I have children, is better spent, like, spending time with them, you know, or making more money so I can help them in the future. It's more about them than, you know, it is about, oh, getting laid, bro. Yeah, because, you know, go ahead and do that until you get freaking herpes. So that's kind of my rant right there. I'm going my own way. I'm one of those guys now. I'm just such a failure. I wish I had like a nagging wife. Wish I was fat, had a nagging wife, and I was basically trapped in the marriage because I didn't get a prenup, and you know, just basically a slave. But those guys are winning. Trust me. All right, talk to you later. Cheers.